Alright, we are back for round one, waiting for our opponent to decide whether or not they're going to go first, or second. I'm going to go out on a wild guess here and say they're going to go first. Haven't seen very many draft decks that would want to draw first. Although I can't say I ever mind that I don't usually mind being on the draw. But, we'll see what happens. Alright. Opponent chose to play first, kind of as expected. This hand's interesting. I kind of like the idea of suiting up Volatile Rig with Ethereal Armor. Giving it first strike as a 5/5 just seems like such a beating. I think we're going to keep this hand, especially on the draw. We have a Dramatic Rescue to buy us a little bit of time if he's really aggressive. And if he's not, then Dramatic Rescue actually gets even better. And there are a lot of things we can draw into from this point that are just very, very good. Again, love the art on these lands. I do have to say that don't necessarily like the new borders of cards, but I think the art has improved in general. I just love the old border cards, though. I'm wondering if my opponent has double queued and that's the reason he's taking so long. Alright, no, we would not like to mulligan. Let's see what we're up against. Blue-white, which I'm actually not surprised about. Looking back at the draft, I think that, sadly, blue-white was not as open as I wanted it to be. Although we are certainly getting the draw that we wanted, wow. So next turn we get to play Stealer. Really? Wonder if he's digging for another land. Turn late on that, but oh well. So next turn it kind of depends on what he does. I may just, like if he has a 4-drop, I may just rescue it and get in there for 2 and play a Keening Apparition, depending on what he plays. Because drawing that extra card would be such a help right here. Soul Tithe. Okay. Sure. We'll go ahead and pay for it and draw a card. Yeah, no problem. Alright. So we're gonna, like I said, pay the 3 for that. Get in there for 2. And hope for the best. I think that paying 3 mana in order for 2 damage and a card is definitely worth it, by the way. Now next turn I may not pay for it, so that then I can either lay down the rock or the rig, depending on what he does. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and let it die this time. As much as I would like to get in there to try to draw a land... Wait, ooh. So if I draw a land, I can Apparition. Presumably if he had the Hussar Patrol... Alright, you know what? We're gonna go for it. Alright, so we drew the land. So he gets a battle for 2. See what he has. We'll play Keening Apparition. Oh yes, very worth it. Alright. So now we'll run out this Apparition, pass the turn. And depending on what he plays, then I can either choose to sacrifice this to destroy the Tithe. If he plays just a blocker. Oh, this could be a Skywatch. Yep, okay, alright. which is just fine with me. Now I do have to kind of debate what I want to do. Yeah, we're just gonna destroy this Soul Tithe. My Keening Apparition's not getting in there anyway. Ooh, that was a good draw. Alright, I'm debating which Fort Op to play, because I'm definitely playing one of these and leaving up Dramatic Rescue. Rock really doesn't get in there all that well. I think I'm just going to play the Rig and pass. Because I think either suiting up Rig with Righteous Authority and Ethereal Armor next turn, or throwing Righteous Authority on Stealer so that it survives the Rig. Like, I think there are just a lot of good lines in play here. Okay, sure. So you have a 5/5. So yeah, I can armor up the Rig. It'll become a 6/6. Wow, I am sorry, everyone. That was a complete and total misplay. I should have rescued in response to Knightly Valor. I sincerely apologize for the sloppiness of that play. That was just atrocious. I am so sorry. Alright, so now we're in less good of a position because I'm being an idiot. But I think this is still actually a fairly easy play. Let's see. So let's... how big? 1, 2, 3, 4. So this... I can make this a 6/6 and this a 6/4 with first strike. Yeah, that seems worth it. Especially since I draw an extra card. Yeah, alright, so here's what we're gonna do. I still think this is correct over... oh, I guess I could have just armored this and played the Spirit to detain this. Eh. Three, 4, 5. Could leave it as a 7/7. Dramatic Rescue the Knight if he double blocks, so that I can then eat his Skywatch. Yeah, that seems like a good plan. My guess is he probably just blocks this with the Skywatch in this case. But I'm okay with that. Oh, does he have another charm? No. White, white. White, blue. He does have another charm. Oh, Dramatic Rescue. Okay. Well, that's unfortunate, but... yep, that's very unfortunate. Again, I apologize everyone for the sloppy play. Sure. Seems interesting to play that before combat, but now I can bounce this guy and not worry about it. Sure. Alright, we're just going to rescue that. See, I have the Dispel too. Ugh, I almost just want to rage quit this game. Alright, well, I am certainly helping you guys to learn what not to do. Here I'm just going to play both of these. Under the pretense of next turn judgmenting this guy and being able to get in with Rock in order to kill his knight. It's not necessarily the best idea with Volatile Rig in play to play a bunch of guys, but I don't think there's a lot I can do that will actually go wrong. Or that doesn't play into that, I mean. So now I can actually block with the rig if he attacks. Oh, he's just... Oh, duh, I detained his guy. Yeah. Apologize. I'm very obviously a little bit out of this. Alright, well, let's see if this works. If the judgment resolves, then I feel like we're still in this game. If it doesn't, then we're in trouble. Alright, well, let's go ahead, suit up the rig. Oop, has to attack, there we go. And we can bounce his knight. And now I feel like we're actually in really good shape. 5, 8, 9, 10. So he's at 4. And this is also why you should never rage quit a game. Alright, we got there. I promise I will try and tighten up my play for game 2. I don't think I saw anything that would make me want to sideboard differently. I could bring in Sundering Growth, but honestly I don't think it's worth it. I've already got Keening Apparition, I've got Dramatic Rescue, Cancel, I got Judgment. I'm not really worried about the one enchantment that I saw. So we're just going to submit and go to the next game. Alright. Back for game 2, and this hand is interesting. Let's see, I'm assuming we're on the draw again, yep. Oh man, this could go horribly wrong. But honestly, I have more white sources than blue sources, and assuming there's one in the top 3 cards of my library, this hand's fine. And even if there's not, he doesn't seem fast enough to really be able to punish me for this. Now, I could be proven wrong very quickly here, especially as I continue to draw islands. But hey. Alright, at least Tower Drake's not really something I'm worried about. I'm just going to play the Pegasus and pass. Sky Knight, okay, sure. So he gets in there for 2, and... yeah, I'm not too worried about that. Doorkeeper. Doorkeeper's less exciting against him. Yeah, I'm just gonna pass. I am fine trading for Sky Knight here. I want to leave up Cancel, because I would like to cancel a 4-drop if he draws a land. Next turn, I can play the Void Wielder to bounce his Drake. Like, ideally, I want to cancel something, trade with the Sky Knight, and then Void Wielder as Tower Drake, and hopefully eventually follow it up with the Palisade Giant. So my guess is he's at least attacking with... well, if he's attacking with the Drake, he's attacking with both. Because otherwise I'd just block the Drake and he has to pay a mana. My guess is he has a 3-drop, yep, that he would like to play. Like I said, I am happy to trade here. Or he's just going to pass. Yeah, I don't really see a problem with casting Void Wielder here. If it gets countered, it gets countered. Like in this case, if it gets countered, I take 2 damage, and it's not really that big of a deal. There's like, next turn I get to play Fencing Ace and leave Cancel up. Ooh. Actually, I can play Sunspire Griffin and leave Cancel up. But this way I get to battle for 1. He still can't get through my Sunspire Griffin. Note that I have been kind of representing Cancel this whole time. Alright, 4 mana, let's see what he got. Skymark Rock, yeah, I don't want that to happen. Here I get to battle for 3. And just run out the Palisade Giant. And then next turn I can play both Fencing Ace and Doorkeeper. Sorry, these little black lines bother me, which is why I've been picking the cards up and running them around the screen. Alright, he has a Griffin of his own, sure. Oh, yeah. Alright. Ooh. That's interesting. I kind of like that. You can pump this twice so it still doesn't live through it. I can hold the Doorkeeper and the I don't even have to hold the Doorkeeper and the Fencing Ace. So yeah, let's run this out there. And let's run the Doorkeeper out there. Debating between Doorkeeper and Fencing Ace currently. He could have Dispel, just something to note. Can I actually just attack with all three? Yes, he doesn't have Charm, so this works just fine. Like, he can block one of them with Sunspire Griffin, and that's it. And he still takes 3 damage, which is very much worth it in this case. Then I'll run out Doorkeeper and start milling him. It'll be super exciting. It might be better just to play Fencing Ace. Okay. Clearly doesn't quite know how Palisade Giant works. I feel a little bad for him, to be honest. Yeah, I'm just gonna run out Fencing Ace. I'm on the damage plane. And this 1 card a turn is not going to make much of a difference. This being 2 damage is huge. And he's gonna... Like I said, this card can be a beating, and this is one of the decks it's a beating against. Of course, he has all the good blue-white cards that I wanted, but... yeah, it happens. So the next turn, he's likely taking 9, at least. And going to 4. Depending on what else he plays here. Armory Guard, okay. Alright. Oh, that was actually a really good draw. Although I don't think I want to use it in... Oh, actually, if he blocks Armory Guard on Volatile Rig, then I probably will use it. Or if he double blocks or something like that. And then I can run out Doorkeeper post-combat and start milling him. Yay! Maybe I should have drafted that Psychic Spiral. Could mill him for 3 after this turn. Yes! Do it. Alright, so yeah, we get to Swift Justice this. Gain 5 life. With him at 8 life, the only thing that I'm scared of is Supreme Verdict. Like, even if this dies, it essentially just kills Palisade Giant. Which is annoying, don't get me wrong, and it does take away some of the pressure. But it also would kill any of the creatures we've seen from him except Armory Guard. At least so far. Alright, so he probably has Skyline Predator would be my guess. Which, or he could have the Charm. Alright, so if he has the Charm, I don't want to attack with Fencing Ace. Actually, I just don't want to attack with Palisade Giant. And then he can Charm one of these other creatures. And that's perfectly fine. Because like, if he just Charms Rig, blocks one of these guys and takes... Oh, he could have Dramatic Rescue. That's the other card he could have. I apologize. Because now if he rescues this... Oh. Okay. Yes. Cool. What else do you have? Oh, okay. Gotcha. So I'm in here, 2, 3... He's taking 3. Which is perfectly acceptable. We'll run this out there and mill him for 1. I'm gonna do it now before I forget. Because I will forget to do these things sometimes, and it always makes me feel a little sad. I feel like he's in a very bad position. This Palisade Giant really just kind of put the beat down on him. Not to mention that he didn't know quite how it worked. Again, still have to play around Azuria's Charm? I guess not. Alright. Yep. Well, there's round 1, and we'll be back for round 2 shortly.